Hello there, this is John V, Software Evangelist at JSCAPE, and you're watching another JSCAPE MFT Server tutorial. In today's video, we'll teach you how to set up SFTP public key authentication on JSCAPE MFT Server. Public key authentication allows you to enforce two-factor authentication to users connecting through the SFTP service. Two-factor authentication can be achieved by activating both password authentication, which authenticates based on something the user knows, and public key authentication, which authenticates based on something the user has. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to generate a private key and associate it with a user account. Let's begin. Log into the JSCAPE MFT Server Manager. Go to Server, Key Manager, then go to the Client Keys tab. Notice that we already have one client key here. Let's generate one more. Click the Generate button. Now, specify a key alias. This alias will be used to refer to this key within the JSCAPE MFT Server environment. Next, pick a key algorithm. You can choose between RSA and DSA. Next, select a key length and a validity period. Enter other pertinent information for this user. After clicking OK, specify the name of the key file. Make sure you select the PEM format. And enter a password to protect this private key file. As soon as you click OK, the private key file should be automatically downloaded to your system. Share this file to the user whose user account you'll be associating with this client key. You can send the file via email, through a USB thumb drive, optical drive, or any other medium. Just make sure you do so in a secure manner. If someone else gets hold of this private key file, that person will be able to log in and impersonate the legitimate user. Now you see why it's much better to use both password authentication and public key authentication. If an imposter knows the password but doesn't have the private key, that person can't log in. In the same manner, if he has a private key but doesn't know the password, he can't log in either. Pretty neat, huh? The next thing you need to do is associate this key with the owner's user account. Navigate into the domain and go to the Users tab. Select the user account whom this key will be associated with, and click Edit. Scroll down till you reach the section containing a list of client keys. Select the client key you just created from this list, and click OK. The key is now associated with the user account. Before you can use public key authentication, make sure your SFTP service is configured for it. Go to the Services tab and edit the SFTP service. Select public key from the authentication drop-down list. Notice that you can choose password, public key, password or public key, as well as password and public key. The last one enables the two-factor authentication feature that we just discussed earlier. For now, let's just select public key authentication. Before I demonstrate how to use public key authentication using a file transfer client, let me show you first another way of generating public-private key pairs. This particular method frees server administrators from the hassle of generating key pairs because it allows users themselves to create their own key pairs. For this to work, you should have the Web File Transfer Service activated. I've provided a link below that leads to a tutorial for activating that service. Assuming the JSCAPE MFT Server Web File Transfer Service, also known as Web Gateway, has already been enabled, the user can simply connect to the Web Gateway and log in. Once logged in, he or she can then navigate into the My Account module, go to Public Key Authentication, and click the Generate Key Pair button. Notice that you also have options to import a public key or delete a key. Let's just generate one for now. As soon as the key has been generated, the private key will be automatically downloaded into the end user system, just like in the previous method. In case you want to view it, the public key can be found in this location. Let's now go to the last part of this tutorial. Let me now demonstrate how to connect the SFTP service using public key authentication. Here we are now on any client, a platform-independent file transfer client that supports SFTP, FTP, FTPS, and other file transfer protocols. click the Connect button. Next, enter the host name or IP address. Enter the username and select the SFTP protocol. After that, go to the Options button and select Use Public Key Authentication. Navigate into the folder where you store the private key file. Enter the password of the private key file and click Connect. If everything goes well, you should be connected to the SFTP service. That's it. Now you know how to set up SFTP public key authentication on JSCAPE MFT Server.